So today I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about Adobe Premiere Pro Basics as a complete beginner to help you get started and edit like a professional filmmaker. Yoga everybody, I'm Ray Moses, a humanitarian filmmaker in Uganda, and here are my secrets to Premiere Pro CC. First things first, let's dive into Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm using an M1 Mac. For PC users, it's still the same layout, so there's no problem about it. So we're going to go ahead and open Premiere Pro, and this is our home menu. And so what we're going to do next, we're going to create a new project. And to create a new project, you click on New Project, and you have to name the project. So I'm going to go ahead and name the project Premiere Pro Basic Tutorial from Beginner to Pro. And the next thing you do is you choose the location where you're going to save your project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose my location and I'm going to save mine under projects right here. And then I'll click choose. And then the next thing I'll do is click OK. So we're now on the Premiere Pro interface and it looks pretty confusing. I get it. I remember the first time I opened Premiere Pro a few years ago, I was in the same shoes that you're in right now. I didn't know what to do. After hours, days and months of watching YouTube tutorials, I started practicing. I repeated, and now only the sky is the limit. Now that we're on the Premiere Pro interface, there are 4 different panels that we shall be working on to edit our videos smoothly. The first one is the project panel, the second one is the source panel, the third one is the program panel, and fourthly, the timeline panel. So let's begin with the project panel. This is where all your imports and files, including footage, sound, music, will be located at. So we are going to import our clips into the project panel. And here, organization is very important when it comes to editing. Having organized clips, sound, and music will help save you a lot of time, and it makes editing fast and really very easy. I organize my files in 4 different bins. So the first one is the footage, then music, then project, then sound, then sound effect, and then I have stills. There are 3 different ways of importing files, and the first one is I go to File, and then click on Import, and then allocate where my file is, and then I import it, and click OK, and boom, here is my file. As you can see, this is all my files. And secondly, you right-click on the project panel, and go to import and choose where your files are located at, and then click on import, and then I click OK, and boom, here are my files. So that's the second way of importing files into Premiere Pro CC. The third method, and personally my favorite, is drag and drop. So here you open the file folder from Finder on Mac. On PC, you go to My Computer, then locate your files. You simply hold, drag and drop the file into the project panel, and boom, you're done. So here I'll go to Finder on Mac, and I'll locate where my file is at. And what I will do next is I will simply drag and drop, and boom, my files will be imported into the project panel as you see it right here. So you can change the view of your bins by clicking this icon, or this one, to whatever you prefer. And let me say I open the footage bin, and I can click on this icon and it will definitely change it. And look at that, it changes it automatically. And then that. And then also if I want to enlarge it, zoom in and zoom out, I simply hold this and I zoom in or zoom out. Look at that, so simple. Or or when I'm on this, I can just simply zoom in and out by simply doing this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new bin, and it's very simple. We're going to go to this icon right here, which says new bin, and then we are gonna click on it, and right away the bin is right there, and then we can rename it to anything that we want. Let me say we're going to rename it stills, and boom, we are done. Color coding your footage helps you stay organized when editing your videos, and this makes finding different footage so freaking simple. For example, I shoot an interview, which is my A-roll or the main footage, and then I have more clips to support the interview, which is my supplementary footage or B-roll. This may be a second angle in an interview or any other random shot from the environment. I would color code them to make it easy for me to find these different clips. So what I do is I go to my footage, and then I select the footage that I want. Let me say this. I highlight it, and then I right click, and then I go to label, and then I choose blue. So all these clips will be labeled blue. So lastly, I'm gonna do the same thing for this clip, and then highlight them. And then what I'll do next, I'll right click and then go to label, and then I choose green. So when I start editing these clips, it's gonna be so easy for me to find where everything is located at. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this into the timeline, and boom, look at that, it's color coded. And then I'll drop the other one, and boom, it's still color coded in purple. And then lastly, I'll drop the green color code, and boom. That really makes editing so easy, and it makes life, pretty easy. And you stay organized when editing. A sequence is a visual assembly of your audio clips and videos that you will arrange in any order you like within the timeline panel. There are 3 different ways you can create a new sequence. So the first way to create a sequence, I'll go to File, and then I'll head to New, and then Sequence. And then I'll go to Settings, and then according to what you want your settings to be, I'll leave the settings of mine the way it is, and then the next thing I'll do is click on OK. And boom, your sequence is right here. It's created, and on the timeline you can see it over here. So the second way of creating a sequence is by right-clicking on the project panel, and then I go to New Item, and then I click on Sequence, and then the same thing will appear, and then your setting is right here. You can change it according to what you want, but for now I'm gonna leave it just the way it is, and then I'll click OK, and boom, there we go. You can see our sequence is right here, and it's right here too, so that's the second way of creating a sequence. So the third and last way of creating a sequence is by drag and drop. What I'm gonna do is I'll go to my video, and then I hold it, I drag and drop it right into the timeline, and boom, the sequence is right there. You would have already created a sequence. You see, this is it. So that's how I create a sequence. The next thing you need to do is lower your playback quality by a quarter, so that your PC or Mac is able to handle the heavy 4K files, and after editing or when exporting your file, you need to put it back to full, so that you get the best quality of the video that you've edited. So to do this, I'll head over to this drop down button, and I'll just click on it, and then I'll choose a quarter. So in that way, you will be able to edit so smoothly without buffering or having challenges with your video footage when you're playing it back. Just like this. The source monitor plays back in the video clips. In the source monitor, you prepare clips that you want to add to the sequence. So this is where all the projection of videos from the project panel are placed, and selection of video clips are done before going to the timeline. So right now we're in the source panel, which is this, and we're going to go ahead and click on this video, and right away you will see it projecting in right here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to choose the in and out point of this video. So we shall do that by hitting on I to mean in on the keyboard, and then just play the clip. And then if I like that point, I just click on O to mean out. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this video file into the timeline. So the first thing I can do is I can hold here and then just drag it into the timeline, as you see. So if I play it on the timeline, you can see it over there. So the next way, I can just drag only the video file into the timeline by simply going in here and I drag the video file only. That is it. So if I play, it will only be the video file. And then if I want to only drag the audio file, I just simply come here and then I drag it just down below. So here, if I play, so here, if I play it, it will have the audio file. The other way of inserting this video into the timeline is by coming in here, and then I just click insert. So automatically the video will come and insert itself right here. So I can play it. As you can see, the video is already in the timeline. So the other way I can set my in and out point is by going to this drop down button, and then I click in, and then what I'll do, I'll play the video. And then right there, I'll just click here, and then that will be my out point. And then I can drag this video into the timeline. Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to show you in the source panel is the effects control. So I click on this, and then we can do anything. You can change the position of this video. You can scale it. You can scale it. Let's try scaling it, and we see if we scale it, you see it's zooming in. If I change the position, I can change by, you see, it's moving from different position to another. And then also what I can do is that I can rotate this video by simply, holding this and rotating the video. I can change the opacity of this video. Let me say I can just reduce the opacity, as you can see right there. And you can do very many things. You can play around with the volume. You can play around with the levels of the volume and very many different things. And then the other thing that is on the source panel is the sound. So this is where you get your sound. You can play around with the sound and audio levels right here. Program Monitor plays back the sequence of the clips that you're assembling. It's your view of the active sequence in a timeline panel. You can set sequence markers and specify sequence in points and out points, as you can see right here. So everything that is on the timeline will be projected right in the programs panel. The source and program monitor in Premiere Pro let you view video clips and edit video sequences. So when a video is on the timeline, it will display on the program monitor, as you see right here. And let me say, if we put another video just over it, the video above it will be the one to be displayed, just like you see here. So you should have that in mind whenever you're editing videos and you have videos on top of the other, the one above will be displayed. So when you have a video above another, you can make it invisible by simply clicking on this little button, and there we go, So when I play, I see the lower video instead of the upper one. And in case you want to zoom in the timeline, the first way to zoom in the timeline is by simply going in here, and then you drag this in and out, and boom, there we go, you zoom in and out. The second way is by dragging or using your trackpad. You simply zoom in and out in your trackpad by dragging. So right here we have our different basic tools for the workflow. We have the selection tool, we have the track select forward tool, we have the repo edit tool, we have the razor tool, slip tool, pen tool, hand tool, and then type tool. I'm going to show you the 3 basic tools and how to use it in order to edit your video. So the first tool I'm going to show you is the selection tool, and it's this one right here. And on keyboard you can hit V, that's the shortcut. And what this does, it helps you to select clips in the timeline. Let me say I want to move this thing, this clip. So what I do, I just hold it and then I can move with it. And boom, that's it, I've selected the clip using the selection tool. This tool is really very, very important in a way that it will help you move clips through the timeline. It will help you add effects. It will help you add transition. It will help you do very many things. So the selection tool is very, very important when you're editing your videos. So the next tool I'm gonna teach you is the razor tool, and the shortcut on keyboard is C. So you simply just click on C, and it's this one right here. So what the razor tool does, it helps you to cut clips. So let me say I have my razor tool and then I want to cut this clip. So what I do, I just hit on it and boom, right away your clip is cut. You can see that. Let me say I want to click on this and then I go back to V. That's my selection tool, and then I can select it and then delete. As simple as that. That's what the razor tool does. So the next tool I'm gonna teach you is the type tool, and you can press T on the keyboard. That's the shortcut, or just simply click here, and then the next thing we're gonna do is just hit on the screen right here and then type whatever you want. Let's say Premiere Pro. So we have our text right here, and if we want to make changes to this text, we can easily simply come right here in the effects control. We highlight this, come in the effects control. So we can play around with this. We can choose any other different font style that we want. You can do that, and so if you want to align it, you simply click here. The other thing you can do is you can change the color of your text by simply highlighting this, and then you come to fill, and then you choose whatever color you want. Let's say we are going with purple. So I just click OK, and boom, there we go, your colors have changed to purple. So on the timeline we have different tracks, and as you see, it's labeled in V, and V stands for video. So this is where all your video clips will be: V1, V2, V3, V4, and we can add more video tracks by simply right-clicking and go to add clips. By simply right-clicking and go to add track. By simply right-clicking and go to add. And then down here we have A1, A2, and A stands for audio. This is where all your audios will be located at in the timeline. So we can simply add audio tracks by simply just right-clicking, and then you click on add audio track. As you see, there is A4 right here. So you can simply mute your audio by clicking on this right here, and when you play it, you can't hear anything. Or unmuting it by clicking right there, and then when you play, you'll be able to hear the audio right there. So to slow down a footage, I simply right click on the footage, and then I go to speed. You find it speed/duration, and then I'll just type in 50%, and then I'll click OK. And then when I play this back, it is going to be slowed down. And when I want to speed up this footage, I simply right click on the footage, and then I go to speed/duration, and then I click on it, and then I type in 200. And when I press enter, this clip will be extremely fast. Take a look at it. Pro tip. One thing you need to remember is you need to shoot your videos on a higher frame rate. I shot my B-roll clips at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second on a GH5, so that when I bring it into the software, I am able to slow it down. So if you shoot on 24 frames and you slow it down, your video will be so choppy and it will look pretty amateur. Effects and transitions are a valuable tool to a video creator. It helps to move the story along, convey a mood or tone to the viewer, and set a stage for the next scene. So to add an effect to this video, what we're going to do is we shall go to this drop down button and then go to effects, and then go to video effects, and then we shall choose blur, and then go to Gaussian blur, and then drag and drop the blur right there. We're going to drag and drop it right there, and then the next thing we shall do is go to effects control. We need to highlight this. So when we go to effects control, we shall see that Gaussian blur is right here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to add a keyframe to this effect. And to do that, you simply click this button, and then the keyframe is right here added. And the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to put the blur to let me say 50%, and then just simply move this cursor up to right there, and then add another keyframe, and then we put that back to 0. So when we click on OK, when we play this video, it will start blurry and then it will go back to normal. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a transition. To do that, we're going to come here and then go to effects and then video transitions, and we're going to add the dissolve into the video. So what we do is we hold and drag and drop the video right here. So if you play the video, you see it dissolving. So the other way of adding text into your timeline is by going to File, and then I click on New, and then I go to Legacy Title. So and then I click OK, and here we go. So I can type in anything I want. So let's type Premiere Pro, and then we just increase the font size to that. And then we cancel it, and then when you go back into your bin, it's right here. You simply hold it, drag and drop it right here, and then you have your text onto the timeline. So you can go ahead and do all these crazy effects, and you can change the font. You can do all these crazy thing you want if by just simply coming over here and you change the styles, or clicking on this panel and then choose properties, and then you have your properties right over here, and then you're able to change your title according to whatever you want. Let me say the font size. You can change the font size. You can play around with the fonts, choose different fonts. Let me say that. You can do anything you want. You can change the color by simply clicking here. You have to change the color. You have to first highlight your text and then click on color, and then let's say we are using that color, and then press OK, and boom, there we go. So the next thing we are going to do is add music into our timeline, and this is very easy. We go back to our project panel, and we choose in the music bin, and we simply drag and drop. So when you drag and drop, there we go, your music is beneath the clips. As simple as that. So let's go ahead and mute this. You can add gain into your audio by simply coming into the clip, right click on it, and then you go to gain, and then let me say you increase it by 5, and okay. So when you add gain, it means that your volume will, your volume will go higher. So I'm gonna teach you a very simple and basic way to color grade your footage, and this is so basic. I'll later on in another video show you how I color grade my footage. So let's go. So to color grade these clips, I'll head over to the color panel, and then I click here, and then it will bring the Lumetric color. And then what I'll do is I'll come here to basic correction, and then I just reduce the temperature a little bit or increase. It depends on how cold or hot it is. So I just reduce a little bit of temperature, and then I reduce a little bit of the exposure, and then what I'll do is I'll just increase a little bit of contrast, and then I'll reduce the highlights, and then the shadows I'll just go ahead and I'll increase a little bit, and then the whites I'll reduce the whites, and then the blacks I'll just increase the blacks. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll go to this creatives, and then I'll just increase a little bit of fade film kind of look, and then I'll sharpen it a little bit, and then reduce the vibrancy, and then reduce on the saturation, just right there. And then what I'll do next, I'll come to the curves, and then I'll just create this, and then I fade it just a little bit so that it's more like a film, just like somewhere there, and then I'll go down here, and then we have here the color wheels. You can play around with these colors, and then we have the HSL secondary colors. You can still play around with these colors, and then we have here vignette. You can choose to vignette your video by just dragging. You can something like that. You can choose to vignette your video, and it pulls people towards the subject. But for now we shall just leave all this to 0. But I mean, this is something you can do if you want to, So the final thing that I'm gonna do is export my file, and to do this I will highlight this panel, and then go to File, and then click Export, and then go to Media, and then the format that I'll use is H264, and then my preset, I'll go to high quality 2160p 4K. There are a variety of different colors that you can choose, and then I click on it, and then what I will do here is I'll just come down here, and then I click Export,